Hello humans, Master DinnerFlax here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve, and today I'm finally doing it. I'm going over your custom archetypes, yay! Now if you expect me to be super nice and gentle about it, I'm just not. The amount of effort it takes to make a well-balanced card is not something that just happens. You really need to take several critiques. You need to play test it over and over again. And you really need to think out what you're doing. So, like, I'm going to give an honest critique, and if I think it's terrible, I'm just going to flat out say it. So with that being said, let's get into this. Now, this is the first one I was sent in, so I guess I'll review this one, and I don't remember what they're called, so let's read them. Bright Eyes Dragon. Excellent. Bright Eyes. Okay, so once per turn, you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing one face-up Bright Eyes card on the field or one Bright Eyes monster in your hand. And then the credit to the artist. The problem-solving card text on this is absolutely horrific. This is a soft once per turn, meaning that if you open 3, you can still use 3. So putting a once per turn restriction like that on this means nothing. So I don't know why it's even on there like that. You should say you can only special summon Bright Eyes Dragon once per turn this way. So we're already off to a great start. Bright Eyes Crystal Dragon, once per turn. If this card is banished, you can add one Bright Eyes A card from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, if this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can, quick effect, banish a card from your graveyard instead, but this card loses 1,000 attack. Grammar needs work, but it's actually not that bad. There's no way to special summon it. So, this is actually kind of fine. And then credit to the artist. Bright Eyes High Tech Dragon. If you control a level 7 or higher Bright Eyes monster, you can special summon this card from your hand once per turn. If this card is in your graveyard, was used for the fusion summon of a Bright Eyes fusion monster. If this card in the graveyard was used for the fusion summon. Okay. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Add one of the other cards used, that's already really worded, but it's going to add back the other fusion material. You should have that activate as soon as the fusion summon is successful. Otherwise, it's easy for the game state to forget if it was used as a fusion material. But this is alright. Ancient Magician of Bright Eyes. Once per turn you turn during your main phase, you can pay 1,000 life points. Fusion summon a Bright Eyes fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing monsters from your hand, field, and or graveyard. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn. That's really powerful, especially for a scale 1. I don't know how I feel about that, but I guess it is only for Bright Eyes, so I guess it's fine. Once per turn, if a Bright Eyes monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your hand, graveyard, or face up in your extra deck instead. Once per turn, if this card is banished, you can target one Bright Eyes card that in your graveyard or banished, add it to your hand. So, fun fact, there's a reason they put hard ones per turns on cards, and you aren't using any of them. You are using soft ones per turns. Meaning if I draw multiples, I can use multiples, especially when you consider the fact that since you're adding scales to this, you are allowing this to be abused with other methods. So I really think you should focus on hard ones per turns rather than a bunch of soft ones per turns. Especially on the original, because it being a soft once per turn literally means it's not a once per turn effect. So you really need to focus on hard ones per turns. Not everything needs to be, but at that same moment, nothing being a hard once per turn is also a problem in here. Crystal Mage of the Bright Eyes. If a Bright Eyes fusion monster is special summoned to a zone a link monster points to, you can discard one card from your hand, target one face-up card on the field, and destroy it. That's really good, but I don't think it's overpowered. During your main phase, once per turn, if a card is special summoned, if this card was special summoned, you can fusion summon a Bright Eyes fusion monster from your extra deck using this card and other Bright Eyes cards on the field as fusion materials. Okay, that's not that bad. Nice work. Bright Eyes Dimension. Once per turn, if a Bright Eyes card is banished, you can activate one of these effects. That's definitely needs to be a hard once per turn. Otherwise, you can use all... yeah. Yeah, you really need to focus on hard once per turns. Not everything has to be, but nothing being a hard once per turn is definitely a problem in here. Add one dragon type monster from your deck or no? Okay. No. This is actually no. Add one dragon type monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. The rest of this doesn't matter. Oh, it also has targeting protection. That's good. Oh my. Yeah, this is getting deleted. Oh, I can't delete it in here. Yeah, this should not just search any dragon in the game. That is opening yourself up for abuse. That is very bad card design. If you're going to make something that's generic, you have to keep the entirety of the Yu-Gi-Oh card pool in mind when you make the card. And this definitely doesn't do that because your whole archetype is about banishing itself. So in addition to searching that, you get to search Darkness Metal Dragon or the Eclipse, not the Eclipse Wyvern, but the baby Chaos Dragons. Chaos Dragon Levianeer for a light and dark deck. That's too much, especially when you're considering the Guard Dragons. Like, yeah, this doesn't need that effect. Bright Eyes Rocket Dragon. 1+ Bright Eyes... It needs to just say 2 Bright Eyes monster. That doesn't mean anything when it says 1+, when it's a link 2. It means you use 2. Oh, but unless you want to use it for its own effect, but that's pointless. Once per turn, you can banish you can banish a card in your graveyard, add one Bright Eye spell from your deck, banish. Okay, that's a little much. This card gains 500 attack for each Bright Eyes monster in your banish zone. That's a little powerful that it just banishes everything, but I think it's okay. It's got a low stat line. It is not generic, so you can't really abuse it except in its own deck. So yeah, that's fine. I think this is okay. Bright Eyes Riot Dragon. Once per turn, if a Bright Eyes card is banished while this is in your Pendulum Zone, you can banish one card in your opponent's side of the field. You can destroy this card in the Pendulum Zone, special summon one Bright Eyes monster from... Yeah, I guess so. I already read the fusion materials ahead. Yeah, this is fine when you think about how it's fusion summoned. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target one card in your opponent's side of the field and banish it. Once per turn, you can banish cards from your graveyard on the field, or banish cards from your graveyard and or field equal to the number of monsters your opponent's side of the field. This card can attack each banished by this effect. And yeah, you know what? I like this. This is a really good boss monster design. It isn't just negate or self-protection. It actually is super impactful on summon and interrupts a lot of plays. I really like this design. Well done here. And then Bright Eyes High Space Dragon. 1 Bright Eyes Dimension. What? I don't... Wait. Since when could you... That's weird. I don't know if any of the cards mentioned using a spell for this. Oh well. 1 Bright Eyes Dimension, 1 Bright Eyes Dragon type monster. When this card is used to summon, you can target one monster on the field, shuffle it back into the deck. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. You can banish a card from your graveyard. This card gains 500 attack till the end phase. That's fine. You can shuffle one card from your banish zone into the deck, draw one card. Quick effect, you can target one card on the field, negate its effects, and it cannot activate its effect even if it or this card leaves the field. No, I don't think you should have negation follow them into the graveyard. I think that's not good design. Um, Even though it has a disruption, like, yeah, don't have it follow in the graveyard, but everything else about it is fine. And so we reach the end of Bright Eyes. What can I say? Delete this card and reimagine it, because it's searching any dragon in the game for something that your deck already does is stupid and opens up for a whole bunch of guard dragon abuse, which guard dragons are broken. There's no exception for this. You should completely rethink what this card does. Everything else, though, is actually pretty fine, except, I'll say it again, hard once per turns. Your deck needs hard once per turns on it, because Bright Eyes Dragon, literally, its once per turn effect is not a once per turn effect because it's not a hard once per turn. But with that being said, there is the first episode. So, yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you have your own custom archetype you want me to review and tear apart, let me know. So, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. And remember, Master DinnerFlax will take your soul.